Hello 3D printing friends! Today on the BB3D channel we're going to take a look at an awesome upgrade that'll give your 3D printer mutant superpowers. Stick around and we'll get into it right after this. I'm Brian and you are watching BV3D. Hi, welcome back. Hey, if you're new here and you're wanting to learn about cool 3D printer upgrades, 3D modeling, and other 3D printing related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, so today we're going to see how to give your 3D printer mutant superpowers. So what kind of mutant superpowers are we talking about here? The ones that let you change from one kind of hot end to another, or change from 3D printing to laser etching or even pin plotting literally in just a few seconds. How? With the Wham Bam Systems Mutant Kit. I am super excited to be able to show this to you. The Mutant consists of a fixed mounting plate which bolts onto your printer's X Carriage and one or more mobile plates onto which you mount your tool heads. Oh, what's a tool head? Well, this whole X Carriage assembly with the nozzle and the fans, that's a tool head. The mobile plates slide down and latch onto the fixed plate, which has a set of contacts to transfer the connections from the wiring harness to a set of terminals on the mobile plate. You'll mount your hot end and fans or other implements of destruction to the mobile plate and then connect those components to the terminals. So why would you want to do this? Well, you could keep a spare identical tool head on hand, and in the event of a clog or a hot end eating blob, you can swap it out and be up and running again in seconds. Or keep different tool heads on hand so you can quickly change them out to print different materials. So you could use one mobile plate with a standard PTFE lined hot end with a brass nozzle for regular old PLA, and then swap it for a mobile plate with an all-metal hot end with a hardened nozzle for high temperature or abrasive materials. You can also use this to experiment with different parts cooling solutions. And it makes it easier to work on a hot end because you can take it off the printer and move it over to a workbench. But you know what else you can do? You can quickly turn your 3D printer into a laser cutter and engraver by mounting a laser module like this one from Sovol. And you can turn your 3D printer into a pin plotter too, simply by mounting a pin onto a mobile plate. You can even print your own mobile plate for this since it won't need any electrical connections. Wham Bam's intent was to create something that was sturdy and as simple as possible to install. Not only did they want to make it easier to use different hot ends and nozzles, they also want to expand the possibilities of what you can do with your 3D printer by allowing you to mutate it into different kinds of machines entirely. So besides turning your 3D printer into a laser engraver or a pin plotter, the Mutant opens up a bunch of possibilities, and it'll be interesting to see what you come up with. So what do you get when you buy the Mutant? Well, there are two kits available, a standard Mutant Kit and a Mutant Quad Kit. With the standard Mutant Kit, you get one fixed plate and one mobile plate and all the necessary mounting hardware. With the Mutant Quad Kit, you get one fixed plate and three mobile plates. That's a total of 4 plates, hence quad. And of course, you still get all the mounting hardware. You'll also be able to get individual fixed plates so you can move tool heads to different printers, and extra mobile plates so you can have more tool heads to choose from. Now, you might be wondering how the Mutant came to be. Well, the Mutant's origin story began a couple of years ago. WhamBam started working on it around the middle of 2018, and it's gone through numerous revisions and internal tests since then. They filed a provisional patent in June of 2019 and then a full utility patent in March of 2020. Private beta testing started in August of 2020, resulting in a few minor tweaks. And in the past 4 months, there's been a lot of development of third-party accessories, adapters, hot end mounts, and tool mounts. Now, I'm not going to cover the installation of the product in detail, both because there are sufficiently detailed instructions available and because it was months ago when I installed it, and being super excited to start using it, I didn't shoot any video. But I do want to let you know what you're in for. Basically, you'll remove the hot end components from the X Carriage of your printer, but still leave them electrically connected. Then bolt on the Mutant adapter plate, followed by the fixed plate. There are 14 terminals inside. One pair is set aside for the power and ground leads for the heater cartridge because they can carry more current. The remaining 12 terminals can be used for thermistors, fans, bed probes, or even a stepper motor if you want to have a swappable direct drive solution. So you plan out which terminals will get which wires and write that down, measure twice, cut once, strip, twist, and screw the wires into the fixed plate's terminal blocks. Once you've got that done, you'll mount all the hot end components that you removed from the X Carriage onto a mobile plate, and then strip, twist, and screw their wires into its terminal blocks. And finally, you'll latch the mobile plate onto the fixed plate and plug in the Bowden tube if you're using a Bowden drive system. The kit comes with tape flags that you can attach to the wires to match the letters on the terminal blocks, but I didn't use them. On my Ender 3, I could tell the different connections apart. The heater cartridge wires are the thick red ones, the heater block thermistor wires are white, the heatsink fan wires are red and black, and the parts cooling fan wires are blue and yellow. But I do have that written down on the wire records card that comes with the kit, so I have a reference if I need it. Also, since I'm using a stock Ender 3 hot end setup, I have 6 more terminals that I can use for things. I could add power for LED lighting, or I could use a bed probe, or who knows what else. Now, if comic books and movies have taught me anything, it's that you don't get mutant superpowers without giving something up, and that holds true for the Wham Bam Mutant. So what do you lose by installing the Mutant? Well, because the Mutant is adding thickness to the X Carriage and kind of pushing the entire nozzle assembly forward a bit, you lose about 15 millimeters of Y-axis build volume. It kind of gives the printer an overbite. But like any creative mutant, you can find ways to work around this. One way is by ordering a replacement X Carriage from WhamBam to which the fixed plate can mount directly. With this, you can regain 3 millimeters of Y-axis build volume. But, and this may be specific to Ender 3 printers, what I did was move the entire Y-axis aluminum extrusion forward. On the Ender 3, there are 2 screws securing the Y extrusion to a horizontal one, and there's a groove cut in that horizontal extrusion to keep the Y one aligned. So I removed the 2 screws and slid the entire Y extrusion forward, and then put a single bolt through the forward bolt hole into the threaded hole for the back, and that got me pretty much all the Y space back. Yes, the Y-axis extrusion is now only being held on by the 1 bolt. But because that horizontal extrusion has that groove cut to align the Y extrusion, it stays aligned. I haven't had a single problem as a result of doing this, but if I was worried about it, I could drill a new hole in the Y extrusion, tap threads into it, and put the second bolt back in. On an Ender 3 Pro, there are 2 forward and 2 rear bolts, but the same principle applies. You can just move the entire Y-axis assembly forward by 1 hole. So these are the mobile plates that I'm using. I have a mobile plate with the standard Creality hot end and fan configuration. I have one with a Hangtight fan duct system, and I'm using the one designed for an E3D V6 all-metal hot end. I have one with the HeroMe fan duct system, and a mount for a standard Creality hot end. Now, both the Hangtight and the HeroMe systems have been redesigned for the Wham Bam Mutant. They fit the mounting hole pattern, and they allow for height adjustability, so you can get your nozzles in the same ballpark. And what I mean by that is, you can adjust them so that when Z is homed, they're all the same distance from the bed. That way you don't have to fiddle around with the Z and stop switch. You'll still probably need to make fine adjustments though. Some firmware lets you do that from the control screen, either with a bed Z option or a baby stepping option or a live Z adjust option. If your printer doesn't allow for that, then a quick adjustment with the leveling knobs should take care of it. I also have an extra mobile plate with a Sovol laser module attached using a mount that I designed in Tinkercad. And when I say extra, I mean it's 1 more than you'd get in the Mutant Quad Kit. And I have a mobile plate that I printed, and I've attached a pin plotter thing designed by my friend Jordan, aka Mad Monkey Makes. Yes, you can print your own plates for those times that you want to mount something on the X Carriage, but you don't need electrical connections. Now, these are all sitting on stands designed by the guy who designed the HeroMe fan duct system. These stands are great for keeping your mobile plates out of trouble, and also great for when you want to work on them away from the printer. The plates just slide on or off the stands. So the neat thing about the Mutant is that I can print something with a standard 0.4 millimeter nozzle on a stock Creality hot end, and then when that job is done, I can unload the filament, power off the printer, swap that tool head for one that has a 1.0 millimeter nozzle, turn the printer back on, load some filament, and start a print job with big fat layers. And when that's done, I can swap out tool heads for one with an E3D V6 all-metal hot end and a hardened nozzle, and print some abrasive materials like glow-in-the-dark or carbon fiber infused filament. And after that, with extra mobile plates, I could swap in a laser engraver module to do some laser stuff. And when that job's done, I can use that mobile plate that I printed with the pin plotter bracket to turn my 3D printer into a pen plotter, or in this case a Sharpie plotter. But I want to show you how fast and easy these changes really are. So here in real time is what's involved in changing tool heads. So with the filament unloaded and the printer off, always have the printer off when you make these swaps. Disconnect the Bowden tube from the extruder. Now, typically this means that you'll remove the collet clip from the release ring, press that ring in to release the grip on the tube, and then pull out the tube. Then unlatch the mobile plate, lift it off the printer, and set it aside. Slide on the new mobile plate, let it settle down onto the pins, latch it into place, and then replace the Bowden tube. And with those 4 steps, you've swapped hot ends, and it only took, under a minute, and that was with me talking the whole time. And it's even faster swapping the hot end for a laser because you don't have to reconnect a Bowden tube. That's because lasers use a photon drive system instead of a Bowden drive system. That's a joke because they emit photons. Sorry, I figured a little light humor wouldn't hurt. So as before, disconnect the Bowden tube. Unlatch the hot ends mobile plate and set it aside. Slide on the laser's mobile plate and latch it into place. And done. And finally, here's what it looks like swapping the laser for a pen plotter. Unlatch the laser's mobile plate and set it aside. Slide on the pen plotter's mobile plate and latch it in place. And you're done. Now I want to point out that I really like this latching mechanism. It provides a secure physical connection that's not going to get knocked out of alignment if the tool head bumps into the print. There are probably tons of other things that you could do with this. I remember a year or so ago, Chris Riley made a cheese printer which automated the production of hors d'oeuvres by dispensing canned cheese onto crackers. Now maybe you could build an advanced version of that and print the world's first benchy out of squeezy cheese. I say world's first because I don't know if anyone's already done it, but if nobody else has, you could be the first. Hashtag bin cheese. So here are a few shots of the Mutant in operation. I just wanted to show you real quick that it really does work, and for me it works really well. Like I suggested earlier, you can print a part with a 0.4mm nozzle and then swap out for a 1.0mm nozzle and get some really stunning effects with thick layers using transparent filament in vase mode. And from there you can do laser etching. And of course, you can do pen plotting too. So those are some of the cool things you can do when you give your 3D printer mutant superpowers. Wham Bam told me the Mutant is available for purchase starting today, and it'll start shipping around the middle of the month. So if you're interested, check the description for links to the Mutant on Wham Bam's site. Between now and January 25th, use the discount code SUPERPOWERS and save 15% on anything in the Mutant lineup. They've got a growing list of Mutant files available for download, printable mounts and adapter plates and other stuff. There's also a collection of things on Thingiverse. Well, that's about it for this episode, and now that we're at the end, let's go print and then draw and then engrave something cool. Hey, real quick before you go, I wanted to say thanks for being one of the super awesome people who sticks around all the way to the end. And thanks for all the likes, comments, and shares. And an especially big thanks to everyone who directly supports what I do. You're all wonderful for doing that, and I really appreciate it. If you liked this episode, a thumbs up would be great. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check the description for ways you can do exactly that. I've got some other videos here that you might want to take a look at too. Also, please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Subscribing is absolutely free, and it's an excellent way to help keep me making these videos for you. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time here on the BV3D channel.